Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. This is Simon with AvaTrade. Welcome to our weekly webinar, Mapping Out Your Week Ahead. For new people, just to explain the title in a simple way, what we're trying to do here is create a plan for the week. And as traders like to say, and I quote, you plan your trade and then you trade your plan. And this way, of course, there's no guarantee in the markets, but even in life, not just in trading, when we spend a little bit time and organize our thoughts and have a plan for our future actions, things become a little bit better, more organized, and possibly bring better results. Few things about myself. My name is Simon Friedman. I'm a senior account manager with AvaTrade. I've been involved with trading for over 24 years. I started as a prop trader in New York City, and I did it straight for about 11 years. And after that, I moved away from it and continued trading, of course, and started to mentor and educate others. And I'm very happy to have this great opportunity to be assisting our customers at AvaTrade. Agenda of the webinar, we speak about indices, stocks, commodities, Forex. We mix fundamentals with technicals. We'll start with a little bit of what happened last week, and then, of course, the main focus is going to be what's awaiting for us a week ahead. Risk warning, you can find the full statement at avatrade.com website. And of course, everything we do here is purely educational. We do not suggest any trades here. Social media channels, please feel free to follow us on Twitter, which is X today, Telegram, and YouTube channel, which I always say it's my favorite, has a huge collection of material, including tutorials, educational materials, and also webinars, including this one, are being recorded and we post it on the YouTube channel. So if you missed the webinar, you can just find the right time for you and just browse the webinar you'd like to watch, and it's there for you. If you are watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to click the likes, only if you like it, of course. Feel free to share it with people that might benefit. And also, if you feel like writing questions, feedback, we'll be happy to hear from you. Okay, so before we forget, that's why I put this slide in the first position. Monday, it's a big day. Some say Trump is coming to White House. Some say he's returning to the White House. In any event, President Trump becomes a president on Monday. It's inauguration. And also, it's the day that we remember the Martin Luther King, and that's a federal holiday. The markets are closed. So please check the schedule of the markets on our website where the trading info is. Some futures are trading short session, and the shares of the stocks are not trading on Monday, so the New York Stock Exchange will not be opened on Monday, but the futures, some of them trade at different hours, and it's a short trading session. Okay, so that's on Monday. And again, with Trump coming in, we're really starting very interesting times. It's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of restructuring, including people in different positions that affect things, including the markets. So I guess it's going to be very, very interesting. Some people have high expectations for the cryptocurrencies, as we saw since November 5th, when the victory was announced of Trump. First of all, the equity markets had a nice rally, and cryptocurrencies up as well. Here's the article that you can find on marketwatch.com. Stock market rally depends on answer to this real question about bond yields. And the subtitle here is expensive stocks and volatile treasury yields make investors jittery as Donald Trump prepares to return to White House. So we'll take a look at the yields in the moment, and we'll talk a little bit about it. Here we go. So the yields had a nice run in the past two sessions. We went down and then a little bit of recovery on Friday. So with the yields, as we know, it's supporting the US dollar when it moves higher. That's why we had the nice move on US dollar. Sometimes it pushes the gold lower. And also, as we get closer to 5, here we spoke about last week, I think about it, that presents a threat to the equity markets as the stocks start panicking and the sell-offs is possible. Banks, it was a big week for banks reporting. They reported tremendous results, the upside. Here's the article about the banks. The title, JP Morgan Chase is the best performer among US banks, what it means for investors. Nice article, you can look into it. Here's the information. Shares of JP Morgan Chase were up 54.8% for 1 year through January 16 with dividends reinvested. We'll take a look at charts when we get to the stocks. We'll take a look the way things look. Tesla, as we know, we've been talking about it a lot since the election, and Elon Musk involved in the election and really working or starting to work with the government led by Trump. So Tesla is always in focus. The title here, Tesla stock is surging ahead of Trump's inauguration. What matters after that? It says right here, the Trump bomb's impact on Tesla's market capitalization in more than 4 times the Biden bomb. Okay, we all know Biden was not so friendly, I guess, to Musk personally. Again, it's just my speculation. So Tesla continues to be in focus. By the way, with all the stocks going a little bit down on Friday, Tesla actually went up. So there's the picture of the Fed's next meeting, which is on 29th of January. As you know, the probability here of rate cut this time around is almost none. It shows 2.1%, and of course the rest is no change. So that's the picture as of now. If you remember the latest inflation data kind of spooked the markets because kind of decreased the probability of the Fed going with the original plan that was kind of priced in for 4 interest rate cuts for 2025. Now, after we had CPI and PPI data, they said that maybe, actually the whole thing triggered when the NFP numbers came super strong. That was the first trigger. So some say we're gonna have 2, some say none. There are also some opinions that the Feds might actually increase the rates. So all those are speculations, and I guess we'll be witnessing what's really happening. Economic calendar, a few words about this material here. It's public information. Again, I'm addressing the new people that are not familiar with it. You can find it on our web trader or mobile app. Also, you can just Google it, economic calendar. This is public information. It's being published ahead of time. So traders could prepare themselves. Here, I have it all marked in GMT times. And I also take out only high impact events. There's so much more. You can browse through it, you can filter and see what's relevant for your trading. And here we go. Monday is the presidential inauguration, also a Martin Luther King Day. So the stock market in the US is closed. Important to remember. Tuesday, we have employment data from UK. We have CPI data from Canada and CPI from New Zealand. On Wednesday, we have the ECB President Lagarde speaking. And then Friday is a big day for Japan, something that we've been talking for a few meetings, or for a few months, you could say. The Bank of Japan interest rate decision, the statement, and the press conference. As you know, the expectations for the Bank of Japan increasing the rates are always there. Lately, yen showed some strength, and I guess we'll see what happens. In case they increase the rates, we might see yen jumping and of the major currencies sliding against the yen. If the opposite happens, I guess it's hard to say because it could be priced in. Also, the first scenario could be already priced in. So definitely around the announcement, there's no time for announcement, just the press conference being posted. So around the announcement, it's going to be extra volatility with yen. So anybody trading yen, prepare yourself for that. PMI numbers from Germany, PMI numbers from European Union, PMI numbers from UK, another speech of Lagarde on Friday. And we have PMI numbers, both manufacturing and service from US. So these are the things, the key announcements as far as economic calendar for the upcoming week. Okay, as a tradition, we started, I guess, a month or so ago. Here I took out the winners and the losers in commodities, indices, and some of the Forex. So let's just go through them. This is the weekly result for the following instruments. Cocoa added 5.7% this week, corn 3%, crude oil was up much more, but gave away some of it, so ended up a week up 2%, wheat up 1.6% on commodities, and the losing side of commodities, sugar 5.25% down, platinum down 3%, natural gas down 1.83%. Within indices, the week was positive. Dow Jones, again, these are cash indices, right? Not the futures that you see on the chart, but similar moves. Dow Jones up 3.6%, DAX 3.21%, S&P 500 up 2.83%, Nasdaq up 2.73%. Bitcoin's probably more now as we speak. It was up 10% for the week. And in Forex, not crazy. I didn't see crazy winners, but on the losing side, we had GBP JPY sliding on 1.25% and dollar yen down almost 1%. So these are the winners and the losers for the past week. Okay, let's move to the charts, and we start going through assets. Again, just to remind everyone, Monday equity markets are closed, so stocks are not going to be open. Important. So let's start with indices, and we start as a tradition with China. China tries, but really stuck on this level around 12,900. We did have a drop coming back, and we ended up week right on the level of the previous support. I guess we'll find out more. I just read, actually, I ran through this small article. Trump announced that he's planning a trip to China. We all know he's a businessman. He likes to negotiate things. So I guess before he implies those high tariffs, he would like to discuss it with China. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but I think I just saw that announcement. Okay, so that's China. Japanese index, see a few tails here. Again, this decision on Friday from Bank of Japan definitely, of course, will be affecting the yen, but at the same time will be affecting the index as it is sensitive to the local currency, of course, right? So as of now, we're sitting right on 200 moving average here with a few attempts to move lower and coming right back. So a lot of these tails, we'll see what happens, especially after the announcement of Bank of Japan. Let's go to the US indices really quick. S&Ps, we're back to the 6,035 where the initial resistance showed, and support and resistance again, and we kind of are rejecting that level again. So as of now, that level around 6,035, it's our resistance there, our resistance. Nasdaq, we're trying it, I'm just trying to figure it out. What's going on here? So it looks like we're breaking the trend line to the upside. Again, when we get to the stocks at the moment, but I think banking sector had a nice push on the U.S. indices. Major banks announced great results, especially JP Morgan. So we'll take a look at them. So Nasdaq is up. It looks like it's breaking this downtrend on the daily chart. Dow Jones also had a nice week, as we said, within the numbers, and it looks like it is testing the previous resistance here, which is also a 50-day moving average here. Germany, it looks like the DAX is flying and making all-time highs. Take a look at a super strong day on Wednesday, then Thursday was positive, and Friday, which is flew to the upside, the moon. So DAX is an all-time high. I'm just thinking to myself, why European indices are so strong. I mean, there's not crazy results economy-wise. It could be that investors are kind of cautious with the US, as 2024 was a great year for investors that had the money in the US markets, and now with Trump coming in with tariffs and everything else, maybe they're refocusing on the Europe. Just my observation. So Germany all-time high. UK also had a nice move to the upside. It looks like we are at all-time highs after a while. If you remember, we spoke about a few times when the US indices were flying. UK was kind of a I don't know, passive here. So it looks like we are at an all-time high on the UK FTSE. So here, there's no resistance, and it could continue, or it come and retest lower levels. So that's on indices. Let's move to stocks, and let's start with banks, actually, as they were the highlight of the week. Here's JP Morgan. This is the monthly chart. On daily, we had a huge move to the upside. Again, there's no resistance, so if it decides to go higher, the sky's the limit. Sometimes we could see the profit taking places, and of course, the general market conditions could affect the stock. So as of now, JP Morgan is flying all-time highs. Goldman Sachs as well, as you could see, with the gap, 3 consecutive days to the upside. Again, we had the all-time highest, so there is no resistance above. If it decides to go, it might, and if it decides to come down, I guess the previous resistance would be the indication of possible support. Bank of America, not at all-time highs, but also showed some strength. Citigroup, let's see, Citigroup might be, no, not really, but it came to a strong resistance here that, this is monthly chart. We came to the level of June 2021. As you could see here, with a triple top around this level, and we're right there again. So we might face actually some resistance here as we did before. We'll be watching that. So the banks they look very strong, as you could see. They might continue higher. Sometimes after a drastic move to the upside like that, definitely it's going to be some profit taking. So we could see some pullbacks. The question is, how strong is it going to be? Is it going to be a reversal or just the profit taking before going higher? Well, let's take a quick look at Tesla. As we see, starting November 5th, as we said, the stock moved higher. Then there was a fluctuation with the numbers of vehicles delivered. I think it was lower, even though it was a good number, but lower than expected a little bit. But the stock is really holding nicely here. Again, with Trump being, you could say, the good friend of Elon Musk, we could expect further moves to the upside. And another big news is actually in Intel. We spoke about Intel a few times, if you remember. Now it looks like, I guess for now, there are rumors that Intel is actually a target for the acquisition. So as you could see here, Friday, that news or rumors, Intel jumped and continued higher. If you remember, we spoke about around $19. They said it's actually a true value of the company. So if they are to shut their operation and just sell the assets, that would be the price of the company. So I guess it represents a bargain for the big players. So maybe, they say usually you buy the rumors, you sell the news. So on those rumors, some traders actually jumped on it. And I guess we might see or hear some news that one of the companies is buying Intel. The shares are really cheap. They're down tremendously from the highs. Even this move right here, we were at $50 a year ago exactly, right? And now, before this jump, we were below 19. So Intel is definitely worth watching. Okay, so let's move to commodities. We'll go through those gainers and losers. We see cocoa on the weekly chart had a nice move to the upside. Again, cocoa, it's an old story, but I'll explain to new people. The moment there was obvious shortage of cocoa beans in West Africa, especially Ivory Coast, when it's produced or harvested, we had a huge move in cocoa, vertical, all the way to about 10,000, and then after that we started fluctuate. It looked like we were going to break 7,000, but it was a huge accumulation, followed with the brand new high to almost 13,000, and now we're trading between 10 and 12,000 here. So anything could happen. This is fundamental, I think. Of course, there's speculations, but as of now, as you could see, the cocoa is not really traveling south anytime soon. It looks like that shortage of cocoa continues. So cocoa up 5.7% for the week. Let's see how this week plays for it. Corn had a nice move to the upside. It's been coming out of this selling mode for a while, as you could see it, a few weeks to the upside. So this week was strong for for corn, and we're coming to a strong resistance possibly here. We're also approaching 100 moving average. So let's see what corn will be doing this upcoming week. Crude oil had a big move this week. It hit 80 plus actually, and then the last 2 days of the week actually went down. It could be it has to do with peace agreement between Israel and Hamas that logically would create more peace in the region. It could be anything else, but maybe Trump coming in. I don't know, but this move ended up on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, we had the sell-off, but we still finished the week in green. So that's crude oil. Wheat as well is trying to revive itself. Not so much though visually here, but we did have a up week, up 1.6%. Now on the negative side, we had sugar, platinum, and natural gas selling. Let's take a look. Here comes sugar. As you could see, after this huge move to the upside that we spoke about, I think one of the sessions, we came right back to this level around 18, and we're holding this. So sugar down 5.25%. This is the weekly chart. On the daily chart, you could see sliding to the downside, trying to possibly come to support, as we could see here. So we could be actually hitting support here from which we bounced. So that sugar, platinum, which previously had a tremendously positive week, which is, as you could see here, this past week we erased the whole move, but then came back about 50%. So a lot of volatility in platinum, as you could see here. So now we clearly see that the candle of the week of January 5th, it's our indication. If we break to the upside, we can continue higher. If we break to the downside, continue lower. It's really choppy trading as it is in most of commodities. Natural gas. I know natural gas drives a lot of traders crazy. At the same time, it attracts a lot of traders for potential profits. Here we go. On natural gas, we were down 1.8%. Slowly, we're stepping up, broke through the previous resistance here on of October 22nd, and we've been slowly stepping up. On daily chart, you could see it here. Not an easy trade, right? But as I said, it represents potential to the traders, and at the same time makes them or wants them to be cautious, as natural gas sometimes, like this move here on Friday, just erased the previous 2 days of the upside. So that's commodities. Let's just check gold. We didn't forget about you. Gold is the same with this channel that we've been mentioning for a few times, 26.05 to 27.20, about 115, roughly 115 points channel. As of now, we haven't managed to break out. We did try here on Thursday, came right back into the channel. So let's see what happens on gold here. We are above all three moving averages, strong resistance again at around 27.20, and we'll continue watching gold. And copper also reached the resistance 444 here around 4.44. We reached it on Thursday and Friday. We sold on the copper trade here. Okay, so that's commodities, and let's move to US dollar. As we said, the yields, the 10-year yields moved to the upside, pushed the dollar all the way to these levels. We had a little correction on yields, dollar responded to it, and then the yields went up. On Friday, dollar went up with it. Strong, also it's yields, it's also change in the mood of Fed's kind of the cuts on hold. It's good for dollar. Also potentially Trump, America first, and doing all the things to improve things in the US, also positive for dollar, looks like it. So all the fundamentals are for it. As of now, we have a clear trend line to the upside. We're holding it up. So let's see how it plays. Let's take a look at yen, as it's probably going to be the main event in the Forex world for the week. So you could see here, even though dollar is so strong against other currencies, but it's been showing weakness against the yen. That's what I mentioned before, that yen is building some strength. So Wednesday and Thursday were the sell-off on dollar. This was all yen related. Of course, it was a weakness of US dollar as well. So a little correction there. So we know in the dollar yen, this 157.56 level, it's kind of a resistance going back left here from July of 2024. So let's take a quick look at other pairs involved yen. So you could see here they've been selling against the yen consistently, besides the Friday bounce a little bit. Australian, Canadian, Euro, New Zealand, all show weakness against the yen. So again, the whole focus is on Friday, the decision of Bank of Japan. Now, Canadian dollar is continuing being weak against the US dollar. So you could see here, we just broke through the previous high here. The high from December 18, which was 144.66. We closed about 13 pips higher after a lot of zigzagging here. So for some reason, Canadian dollar is suffering, and I guess we'll find out what's next here. If we continue in the same manner, we might be coming to retest the previous serious resistance here from March of 2020, and that was 146.66. about 200 pips away from it. But as of now, as you could see, monthly chart, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive months to the upside. And also the strength of oil, which usually adds value to Canadian dollar, didn't really save Canadian dollar here. Something's going on there, and it shows a lot of weakness. So that's, I think, from all the majors, it actually had, besides the Australian and New Zealand. So Australian, New Zealand dollars, the remaining week, they tried, and they came right back below this big candle here. And of course, strength of a dollar adds to it, and also weakness of China, or remaining weakness of China, adds to weakness of these two currencies, as they're being called commodity currencies, for simply exporting a lot of goods to China. And China's economy is not so great, so definitely the orders are falling as well. So the import for China is falling. That translates into the weakness of Australian, New Zealand dollar. Let's take a look at other majors. The pound is sliding, and euro is sliding as well. So, of course, most of the majors are relating to the strength of a dollar. So if we're watching the dollar index continue higher, obviously we'll see weakness in the major pairs, besides the yen, which is the whole focus now on that decision of Bank of Japan and possible increase in interest rate, which will be causing strength to the yen. Okay, that's as far as Forex. And let's take a quick look at Bitcoin. As we said, had a nice run this week. This is the weekly chart. We're approaching the highs. As of now, we're trading at 104,200. The all-time high was December 17th, 108,313. That's Bitcoin. It had a hard time actually going above 100K again. And then finally we broke, established the price action here of some support, and then we shoot up on the 17th, and over the weekend we're holding nicely, which possibly opening. But again, a lot of excitement about Trump coming in and supporting. Also read somewhere that Trump is promoting his own coin. I don't know how true that is, but I think there's something, Trump coin. I'm not sure about that, but in any event, definitely he's a pro-crypto, which brings us to the last suspect of our meeting today, XRP. Ripple has been doing great. On the 15th, we made a nice move. I think that was the last day of some judgment against, or potential judgment against XRP by the regulators. I'm not sure of the details, so I'm not going to make it up, but XRP reacted on that day from under 3 to all the way 319. Following day, we had a nice attempt to go higher, and now currently we're trading at 311. A lot of excitement, a lot of increase in volume on XRP trading, so we'll be watching that. Again, I guess that completes our review, so let's just put it all together. Monday, big day. President Trump's coming home, you know, quote unquote. I just made it up. He's coming back to the White House. We're going to have a lot of excitement. I think it's good for traders. It's going to be a lot of volatility with his decisions and actions and speeches and other things. So we have hopefully a great 4 years ahead of us. Crypto is in focus. Tesla is in focus. New tariffs are in focus, which is very controversial. It could cause issues for some US companies and so on. So we'll be ready for that. And I wish all of us a great journey. And in a short period, of course, enjoy the weekend. Get ready for the upcoming week. It's going to be a lot of excitement. And again, don't forget, it's my fourth reminder, tomorrow on Monday, US indices and commodities, some of them are trading at different times, early closing. Check the schedule, and the US stock market will not be open. Take care. I'll see you all next week. All the best.